Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Izzat Safwan bin Julani and my number metric is BB23110336. So today I will present about my own part, which is part 1, which the questions is construct appropriate graph or chart to compare the relative frequency and cumulative relative frequency between the two metrics. First, this is the formula to find relative frequency, which is frequency divided by total number of observations, and for the cumulative relative frequency we just add up the relative frequency from the first class until the last class. So this is the number of visit table. As we can see here, we have 4 classes, which is in million. The first classes is 20 up to 30, the second class is 30 up to 40, and the third class is 40 up to 50, and the last class is 50 up to 60. So the frequency for 20 up to 30 is 4, the frequency for 30 up to 40 is 14, the frequency for 40 to 50 is 10, and the frequency for 50 up to 60 is 2. So for the relative frequency, we just divided the frequency divided by total number of observations. And besides the table, we have the histogram graph for relative frequency. As we can see here, the highest value is on 30 up to 40 and the lowest is on 50 up to 60. As you can see here, this is the cumulative relative frequency graph for number of visit that we extract from the table. So we got the cumulative relative frequency. As you can see it in the table, we just add from the first class, we add up to the second class, and then the second class we add up to the third class, and from the third class we add to the fourth class until we reach the figure of 1. Next, this is the number of purchase order table. As you can see here, we have 5 classes, which is in million. So the first class is 100 up to 130, the second class is 130 up to 160, the third class is 160 up to 190, and the fourth class 190 up to 220, and the last class is 220 up to 250. So the frequency for the first class is 5, the frequency for the second class is 8, the frequency for the third class is 9, the frequency for fourth class is 7, and the last one for the fifth class is 1. So to find the relative frequency, we just use the same formula, which is frequency divided by the total number of observations, and we got the relative frequency. And for the cumulative relative frequency, we just sum up each of the relative frequency until we reach the figure 1. So this is the histogram graph for relative frequency. As you can see here, the highest value is 160 up to 190, and the lowest value is on 220 up to 250. So as you can see here, this is the cumulative relative frequency graph for number of purchase that we got the data that we extract from the table. As you can see here, the highest value is on 220 up to 250. So in conclusions, the number of purchase order is higher than number of visits, because when a person visit a site, they will buy many items.
Hi, my name is Eli Erika. My part is part 2. In this part, I will show you how to calculate and compare measure of central location between the two metrics. There are 3 components in central location, which is mean, median, and mode. The formula for mean is add all the values and divide by number of the value. After we sum out all the data for matrix 1, we got 1131.4. After that, we divide by 30, and the answer is 37.71. After that, to find median, we need to arrange the data in ascending order. When the data are arranged in ascending order, the median is either the middle value if the number of observation is odd, or the average of the two middle value if the number of observation is even. Since the number of my observation for metric 1 is even, I sum out the value at the 15 and 16 position and divide it by 2, and the answer is 34.5. The mode for metric 1 is 34.1. Mean for metric 2. After we sum up all the data for metric 2, we got 5005.8. After that, we divide by 30 and the answer is 166.86. Median for metric 2. Since the number of my observation is even also, I sum up the value at the 15 and 16 position and divide it by 2. And the answer is 163.9. The mode for metric 2 is 0, no mode in the data.
Hi, my name is Monica Yen. My part is part 3, and in this part I will present the calculation of percentile and box plot for each metric, which is number of visit and number of purchase order. Firstly, to find the percentile, I arrange the data for both metric in ascending order. The formula that I use to find the percentile is LP equal to N, which is number of data plus 1, percentile divided by 100. So the 25th percentile for the first metric is 31.95, 50 percentile is 34.5, and lastly the 75 percentile is 45.43. The 25th percentile is located 75% of the distance between the 7 and 8 observation, and it is 31.85. The 50 percentile is located 50% of the distance between the 50 and 16 observation, and it is 34.5. Since all of the percentiles are non-integers, I interpolate it, and the result is 31.85 for the 25th percentiles, 34.5 for the 50 percentiles, and 46.1 for 75th percentiles. 5 summary value that I got are 23.0 for minimum value, 54.2 for maximum value, 31.5 for first quartile, 34.5 for second quartile, and 46.1 for third quartile. There is no outliers in this data, and type of skewness for the box plot of the first metric is positive. Next, for the second metric, which is number of purchase of the order, the data for this metric also arranged in ascending order. Percentile of second metric was found in the same way, and the result that I got 25th for 25th percentile is 140, 50 percentile is 169.9, and 75th percentile is 197.55. The 25th percentile is located 75% of the distance of acquisition, which is 140. This is an integers numbers. The 50 percentile is located 50% of the distance between the 18th and 19th observation, and it is 171.3. The 75 percentile is located 25% of the distance between 23 and 24 observation, and it is 198.25. This box plot we can get 5 summary value, which is 116.5 for minimum value, and 231.9 for maximum value, 140 for first quartile, 171.3 for second quartile, and 198.25 for third quartile. There is no outlier in this data, and the distribution is symmetrical.
Hi, my name is Fifi Venerosli. My metric number is BB231104556. Now I made to present part 4, calculate and compare measure of dispersion of two metrics. First, we have to find the range of visit and purchase. The formula we'll use is the maximum value minus minimum value. So, the range for visit is 31.2, meanwhile, purchase is 115.4. Secondly is mean absolute deviation or MAD. How to calculate MAD is by following the formula given. First step to calculate MAD, we have to find the mean. And after that, all the data of visit and purchase one by one need to minus with mean. And after that, the total will divided by 30 to get the final answer. So, the MAD for visit is 7.44 at 444,444, and the purchase is 25.657777 at. Next is standard deviation or SD. The formula used is as given, so the SD for visit is 8.72367 at 967, and purchase is 31.42601693. When we get the answer for SD, then we can find the variance. The variance formula is SD power 2. So, the variance for visit is 73.565 at 2222. Meanwhile, the variance for purchase is 31.42601693. Last is coefficient of variation or CV. The formula is CV equals to S divided to mean. So, the CV for visit is 0.23131551. Meanwhile, for purchase is 0.1883865554. That's all from my part. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarvin Analitik Anandan, BB 23110439. Today I would like to present my assignment part is part 5. The question is, calculate and interpret measures of association between two metrics. For the next slide, I have attached what is the meaning of covariance and correlation. Covariance. What is the meaning of covariance? Covariance describes the direction of the linear relationship between two variables. What about correlation? Correlation describes the both direction of the linear relationship, which is strength or not. This is the difference between covariance and correlation. Make it different. For the third slide of part 5, that is, I already attached two types of table. That is a calculation to know the value of covariance and correlation. To calculate, first of all, to calculate the value of covariance and correlation, we need to identify the mean of visit and purchase of e-commerce websites. Here, I have already have the value of mean. So now I want to take randomly one of the e-commerce website that show negative and positive value. For example, PG Mall, it shown its value is negative 235.07, which means is the value is negative. It is big. For the positive value, I will like to share about Shopee. Shopee is positive value
the value is 388.36. The positive value shows it is very strong and strengthful. For the next slide, I have attached calculation for covariance and the reason why it shows negative value or positive value. First of all, to get the value of covariance, we need to identify first the sample mean of visit and purchase. I have shown here sample mean of variable x. X mean visit, variable y means to purchase. The mean for variable x, which is visit, 37.71 million. For the purchase, 166.82 million. For the covariance, the value that we get from the table, the total value, which shows 176.91, must multiply. For the last slide of part 5, that is shown how to calculate correlation. For the correlation, I have get 0.65, that's a positive value. That's a positive or negative value will be the answer. The value must be below than 1. So the 0.65 is the positive strength. The positive value also shows that indicates a positive linear relationship between the two variables. So there's a variable x and y. So this is my part, end of my part. So this is from me, and thank you.